Welcome to Room for All, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of inclusive employment and explore the power of creating opportunities for people with disabilities. I'm Andrea Comastri, CEO and co-founder of Hotel Etico, Australia's first not-for-profit social enterprise hotel.
And I am Saraya O'Connell, General Manager of Hotel Etico. Together, we'll be your hosts as we talk about the importance of breaking down barriers in the workplace. We will have a particular focus on hospitality and other customer-facing roles, and how businesses can lead the charge toward inclusion.
At Hotel Etico, we believe that everyone deserves the fair chance to succeed. And we've made it our mission to not only provide jobs, but to build meaningful careers for people with disabilities. On this podcast, we will be sharing success stories, best practice, and inspiring conversations with industry leaders from the hospitality sector, the disability sector, other social enterprises, philanthropy, and of course, our own trainees, graduates, and staff.
Whether you're a business owner, an advocate for inclusion, or someone curious about the future of work, this podcast is for you.
So come and join us at Hotel Etico, or as we call it, the Hotel California for the Heart, a place where once you have checked in, your heart will never leave.
So let's get started and open the doors for all.
Okay, and we're rolling. And as usual, I've got my giggly co-host with me. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the studio where we're recording Room for All, the Inclusion in Hospitality podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Saraya O'Connell.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. My name is Andrea Comastri, and we have today here with us our special guest, Scott Bear. How are you, Scott?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Do we want to disclose straight away that this is the second time we have Scott?
I was going to pass over that.
Because someone stuffed up?
I would have made it very obvious.
It's all right. What do we do at Hotel Etico?
Learn from our mistakes.
Yes. Hopefully.
Admit our failures.
Yes.
And that you're not very good at
And
something.
move on. Welcome, Scott. So I think we're going to just jump straight into it, right?
Yeah.
Scott, who are you? Who's Scott?
Who is Scott? Scott is currently the general manager at the Mercure, Sydney, Manly, Warringah, out in the Northern Beaches. Who is Scott outside of his title? Scott is outgoing, sporty, loves to be outdoors, family-oriented, social, I guess, yeah.
Butterfly?
Extrovert, sure. Butterfly, spread my wings. Born in Sydney, grew up on the Gold Coast. Went to
Another
school.
Queenslander almost.
No, blue blood. Yeah, everything's blue. But came back down for uni, studied at the Blue Mountains International Hotel Management School just down the road. Did 3 years there and then headed out into the big world of hotels. So worked in the Park Hyatt in Sydney, over in London as well. Came back, did Sofitel Darling Harbour, and now Mercure, Manly, Warringah.
So you're like 45 years of age or something.
28. Yeah. Close.
28.
Yeah.
28. Rising quickly. And talking about your age, you're heavily involved in a group that you started yourself with a colleague?
I was an early joiner. Amelia Perez, another alumni from the hotel school that I met through the school and also just the industry, came to me about 2022 May with an idea to create a group for young hotel leaders to connect the industry. We often always learn from people who have been in the industry for 40 years and it's not really relevant anymore. It's great to hear their experiences, but we use technology now and self-check-ins and different algorithms and AI.
There's no big book.
There's no big book. We don't use the maps and have to flick 20 pages. We just use Google Maps these days. So it's we just wanted to find a space where people were comfortable to ask questions, learn from people, and learn more about the industry. So we created Young Hotel Leaders. It was a committee of 6 that we started with, but from all across the industry. So from development to real estate to brokerage, and it really opened my eyes up to what else is out there in hotels, not just operations. And out of the whole group, I was the only operations representative. So it showed how big the industry is outside just purely hotels. So yeah, we host events, run clubs, we do conferences, panels, women leadership speaker series. We did Take the Stage, so it allowed up-and-coming leaders to present in front of their CEOs what their projects were and give them a bit of a space and a spotlight, so to accelerate their careers, which has been pretty impressive to see some people who started with us May 22 and where they are now so quickly, not just because of the group, obviously, but, to see those connections being built is quite
Such a
quite cool.
generous industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's young? Like, what's the age limit?
Yeah, it's not age. We kind of actually started off as age, and it was like under 35s, and we kind of saw it as restrictive. But also, if we're talking about young hoteliers, you can be a young hotelier when you're 60. You can you can join a hotel for the first time.
Are you holding on to the young or the hotelier part of that?
The 60.
The 60? So yeah, we target really, first and foremost probably age, but experience in the industry as well. I would always say that a 50-year-old hotelier can learn more from a 24-year-old than they can from a 60-year-old. So especially with the ever-changing dynamic of the industry, if you're not adaptive to change, you're not going to learn and move forward. And the youth have the perspective of climate change and different priorities that you see in politics nowadays, and they relate that back to hotels. So to not be on top of that is probably a burden to yourself. So connecting with the young and learning as much as you can is what we create it for.
Great initiative. Saraya?
Am I young enough?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You're a young general manager. We want you on board and learning, getting involved. But, you come from a different part of the industry that we haven't gained a lot of exposure to, and that's why I'd love Whiteshell to connect with Etico and make sure that we are encapsulating everything that this industry delivers, not just, the normal, like what's considered the norm.
What is considered norm?
Well, it's changing now, which is great. The norm was always just the typical run-in of a property, a 5-star property in Sydney, or maybe even I'm getting ahead of myself, maybe the norm was just your basic bed and breakfast on the side of the road in Taree that you stopped on your drive to Queensland. So norm is changing, and it's changing for the better, which is exciting.
Yeah, it is a very dynamic industry.
It's fast changing too.
Absolutely.
Hard to keep up.
Absolutely. So you've been now, because of me, at the hotel a couple of times.
Yeah.
What was your first impression of Hotel Etico?
Beautiful.
And then second.
Yeah, and then second. Beautiful building. Like, this place just carries so much history. Such a landmark of the mountains in Mount Victoria. And then you kind of see it from the outside and you're like, old building, pretty cool. A few ghosts probably, a few stories, a few
100%.
tales.
We literally track it.
Yeah. But then you step in and you're like, wow, how homely do you feel? And
there's so much
not just from the building itself, but from the people in it. And you walk through the restaurant and the bar. And my first trip up here, when we were having drinks and dinner, it was like you just feel a part of something bigger than just a hotel and an operations. And you see the smiles on all the staff faces, but not just like the students. It's also the work support workers and the staff. The kick that they get out of one of the team members going up and taking an order and kind of fist pumping himself that he nailed the order and he's going to go back to the kitchen and put it through properly. And when they get good feedback about their pasta and pizzas, and it's like in your hotels down in the city, you just don't get the same response, and you don't see the value of a positive.
It is good here on a Friday.
There's a great level of engagement.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, literally, you bump into guests and they just are so generous about the feedback that they give you about the experience that they've had.
But it's not like people sugarcoat it because of the social enterprise and because they feel like they have to.
We get bad feedback sometimes, very rarely, but
very rarely.
Yeah.
But people genuinely have a great time, and you read the guest book on departure and the amount of amazing comments.
Yeah, I read it all the time.
And they come everywhere. Today, the page on which it's open, there's Germany, Dandenong, Central Coast, Victoria, Sydney, everywhere. Yeah. It's incredible.
I saw Japan, Osaka or Japan or Okinawa. I was like, unreal.
Beautiful.
I do love the guest book.
Yes, it's a great keepsake. And all right, so second impression still we're keeping up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just gets better and better, the experience, and the personalised care, and it was
Very good.
the room was great. I was saying I was at the hotel school just before, and I was like, I have not had a comfier sleep. Like
Those
Yeah, they're
mattresses
comfortable.
are
mattresses are
amazing.
incredible, and they're
Yeah.
not too soft that you
Yes.
break your back and
Yes.
chiropractor, but you just sink into it and you don't want to
Very,
leave.
very good.
Yeah, they are good. I like it when I sleep here.
Have you always wanted to work in hospitality? You said you went overseas, you had a bit of experience. I think what sparked the interest in hospitality?
Yeah, I was always medicine through school. Was all
Really?
sciences. Yeah, so I was
Dr. Scott?
Dr. Bear. You know that sounds like
In Peds?
play school or something. Yeah, I did like physics, chem, bio all through school, and wanted to be a veterinary science, kind of marine biology side of things. My respiratory system doesn't allow me to scuba dive, so that kind of ended that career. Went over to Vegas on a school trip in year 11. Very, very fortunate to have done that. So there was no partying. It was very 17 years old, walking through the casino, and we met the GM of the Mirage Casino in Vegas, and he just lit a fuse in my stomach that was like, wow, I got to get involved. I got to do this.
Have you gone back?
No, I haven't. I'm looking at a trip in July to go to Texas, and through the young hotel leaders, one of the girls on the committee, she's from Texas, and she wants us to go over for 4th of July. So I'm really trying to make that work.
4th of July
Yeah.
next year is going to be big in the US.
Yeah, big
after
time.
what's been happening.
Yeah, so haven't been back, but just seeing him Cirque du Soleil one night, you've got a magician the other night, and you've got bars, restaurants, casinos, lights, and people just so excited to arrive in that foyer and lobby, and the world awaits. To be able to be responsible for creating that kind of feeling sparked my keenness, and then just went from there. Came back to Australia and realised we didn't have a Mirage Casino in Sydney, but more so, what I could do in my career that was probably not more meaningful, because medicine and scientists, they save people's lives, but you can do that in hospitality. You can change someone's life by an experience that they have, and it's what I've loved for the last 10 years doing.
Very good. Talking about nicknames,
Don't you fucking dare, and you will edit
there's
this out.
a
Don't
nickname
even-
going around here about Scotty.
I'll start
I
naming
say
your
it?
nicknames. Don't you dare. I will make you edit it out anyway. Like legit, like it's not going.
It's Scotty the Hottie.
Oh,
Soph did warn me that you would put that on the
Of
podcast.
course. But I had other plans as well, which I can't do now because I've been playing around with ChatGPT, the voice one. And it's bloody unbelievable. So I was saying, can you tell me some questions that I can ask Scotty the Hottie? And she was going, is Scotty the Hottie? It's amazing.
This whole bit is being edited out.
We'll see.
No,
I'll probably go in
it
the
legit will.
the bloopers,
No, it fucking won't.
especially that bit.
yeah. That's why she did it.
So Mercure Manly, to us about the hotel, do a bit of a plug for the hotel.
Yeah, beautiful hotel in the Northern Beaches, Brookvale. So it's more Brookvale than Manly, situated about 300 metres from the Brookvale Oval, the Seagulls home ground. We're a 120-room property, new cafe called District, buffet breakfast, 24-hour in-room dining. And the hotel's just improved tenfold since I started. We took over from Travelodge in July 22. Salter Brothers bought 11 Travelodges and turned them all into Accor properties, and have put a fair bit of money into uplifting the quality. It was average rates of 100, 105 for the Travelodge, and a lot of big groups, inbound Asian operators, to now we're a FIT market. We have a lot of domestic travel, frequent independent traveller. So your casual guest. Yeah. So a lot of Western Sydney guests come in for a weekend in Manly to spend by the beach. We have a lot of groups still, but more sports groups, and we just pack out on game days. So the property, it looks great. The team is fantastic. It's a tight-knit team.
I think you have a very good staff member.
We do, yes.
Yeah, I think he's pretty great.
I don't like to point people out because I love all my staff and they're fantastic.
Tell us about this staff member.
But this staff member particularly is Sam. Sam joined us, now it's like over a month ago, nearly.
6 weeks probably, yeah.
And Sam, incredible incredible guy.
He
He's
really
a great
is.
kid. He's passionate, bubbly. He brings a world of personality to our breakfast service. So he's a hotel all-rounder. He does breakfast from 6:30 till 10, and then he works in the maintenance department from 10 till 12, 10 till 11. We've got all new bark in our gardens now. Our
Yeah, I saw
lawns
him
are
doing
looking
it when we came to
Yeah.
visit. He
Yeah.
was doing it. I interrupted him, so I had to leave.
all looks great. He's done the lawns, he's doing the hedging, he's done the windows. Like, the property's never looked better. And
So that he uses the power tools and
yep,
stuff.
yep. So he's all over it. So he's just a passionate, fun guy to be around, and he's brought a new spark to the team. I think they
Fantastic.
see him around the hotel and they want to hear his stories of the weekend and what he got up to. And we had our staff celebration week. We call it Hardest Week with a call.
He was talking about it on the balcony this morning.
Yeah, he's we went down to the brewery, Bucketies, which is right near the hotel, and had a few schooners and got chatty, and we stopped at McDonald's on the way home from
Yeah,
McFlurry.
he looked at me. I said, "You get a McFlurry?" And he looked at me like, "How do you know that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
People talk. Did you
Yeah.
see it? No. So yeah, and today's his first day,
It
official
is.
day up in
It's-
Etico.
He has come for the official training week, the RTO training week, but yeah, it took a lot to get him here into the program,
Yeah.
and the day has come.
Yeah, I mean, Sam's such an amazing first for us because in every intake we've had a trainee that secured open employment in industry before the graduation. Sam secured open employment even before he started.
Yeah.
So it's been an amazing opportunity. And obviously now we're going to add to his training, to his experience, to his independent living, because obviously
There's
Hotel
a lot.
Etico is all about the
Yeah.
independent living that goes with hospitality. So yeah, we're very, very excited to have him and his family part of the journey.
Yeah, every shift it's like, I'm nearly at Etico. I'm nearly going, nearly there. I'll just
Yes.
sharpen a few skill sets and then I'll go up. And I was like, it's usually the other way around, Sam. Usually you sharpen it up there
He's
and then you
pretty
come
onto
to
it.
me.
When we came to visit, like he was like he
Yeah.
knew everything.
Yeah.
I was like, I was pretty impressed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we did, what was it? Yesterday, so it's Friday today, isn't it? Wednesday,
Yeah.
he was on shift and we did 70 covers for breakfast. And for us, small hotel, that's quite a lot. Sam ran it all himself. Like, I was on a meeting at 8 o'clock because I got pulled in with the owners, and he was like, yeah, I'm fine. I can do it. And I walked back out there. The place was spotless. People were smiling. No one was arguing. Chefs was like,
You
yeah.
often have
it's
people
all-
argue over breakfast.
Oh, trust me. You know,
No coffee.
when I cook, it's an argument. But he was just all over it, and I just walked out there with so much like a calmness of, yeah, he's got it covered. So
We're redundant.
That's what we
We're
want.
not needed.
That's what we want.
it's the end goal, isn't it?
It is
Amazing.
the end goal.
So obviously you're quite ahead of the curve, I suppose. But is the industry getting on board with inclusion? Where do you
Can I
think
ask why you're ahead of the curve? Like, why do you have a passion for inclusion?
Good point.
So go you first.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
me first. I should always come first.
Okay. I have a passion from my early days, childhood, parents' influence mainly. Both my parents heavily involved in the disability sector, the inclusion community. Dad, quite heavily passionate about it. I mean, mainly for me, I grew up in junior school with one of my best mates, Angus. He had a mental disability, and I guess it could have gone two ways in that sense. It could have gone at school and gone the whole push him aside and not give him much focus and time. And
That happens a lot.
Does happen, and too much. And I think you see past the disability and you see the person for who they are. And he was fun and exciting and genuinely curious about who we were as people, and I was curious about who he was, and built a great friendship. And you kind of see how he was treated by externals, and you kind of build a bit more of an empathy towards them, towards him especially. And, you know, he was probably more of a lucky kind of experience through school. You know, he had a parent who was on the staff at school, so kind of was not protected, but, you know, no one was really going to be too dismissive of him during school. But, you know, others aren't so lucky and have that kind of guidance. So through those formative years, it was great to see him grow and come out of his shell and be successful in his own right. And now he's down at, where is he? He was at Warwick, working in a library, driving, like he's just
Normal.
living life, and but like he's normal either way. So just a different type of normal. So I think through that we connected, and I found a really passion for making sure that everyone was included in everything we did. And then Dad introduced the Sony Foundation Children's Holiday Camp to our school when I was in grade 9. So I got to experience 4 days of looking after someone 24/7.
You say you're not a Queenslander, but you talk like a Queenslander. Grade.
Yeah, whatever. And got to take full-time care of someone with a disability, and my camper is what we referred, but ended up friend had cerebral palsy, was confined to his chair at all times, and was also partially blind. So kind of got everything loaded in on once, and to come from a 17-year-old kid who's hanging out with his mates and causing trouble on a weekend to 4 days on his school holidays looking after someone 24/7.
It's hard work.
Well, it's just you find a true appreciation for the parents, big time, firstly, because, they didn't choose to have a child with a disability, but I am like in awe of people who do have a child with a disability and how much work they have to do and sacrifice, because you love your kid. Either way, whatever they've got, you love them and you do anything for them. So those 4 days was an eye-opening experience to, it took us 20 minutes to get him changed into swimmers to go for a swim where he had a tantrum 5 minutes in, and then 20 minutes to get back out of the pool because he didn't want to swim. So that's a 45-minute exercise. I jump in for a dip, jump back out, it's 5 minutes, and it's all the extra planning and for seeing the future of how you need to get places. And we talk about accommodation and transport, what you have to plan, because it's not as accessible as just jumping in a taxi. You got to get a specific cab or an Uber these days and whatnot. And
I don't think many Ubers actually are wheelchair accessible.
No,
none.
So you've got to you're restricted,
Yeah.
and everything you do in life is restricted. So that was a huge eye-opening experience. And then after school, Dad came up with a concept called Alvi. It's an application. I always refer to it as like Bumble BFF, but for the disability community. So you can jump on, you make a profile, you say your interests, and you connect with the community.
A few of our grads are on there now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
They've had some trouble making friends.
Yeah, because like what we recognised, and it's easy for me to speak being able-bodied and able-minded and whatever, but talking to people in the community, the biggest thing is loneliness and the lack of connection, because the dismissive nature, and not even dismissive nature, but probably too scared to approach and create a friendship because you're worried you're saying the wrong thing or
There's
doing
also
the wrong thing.
a lot of people that take advantage of people with a disability, so it's really hard to make good connections.
Safe space kind of thing. So,
safe is the key.
yeah, and this app, police checked. If you're under 18, you've got support worker has access to your profile, conversation, so you're not taken advantage of. And it's a great initiative that Dad did. So I guess through all those examples, I'm passionate about the industry, and now working in hotels, everyone travels for a holiday, everyone needs a job. Hotels combines both, from guest and a staff access. So I have a privileged position where it's not my money that I get to spend, but it's my owners, and they're so supportive of it. And
How accessible is Mercure mainly? Physically?
Yeah, it's not perfect, and I definitely can.
I think there's
See
power
that
in
it's not.
admitting that, and people with a disability prefer you to say that.
We can do better.
You got some
Yeah.
accessible rooms.
We've got 6 accessible rooms in the hotel, ground floor and second floor options. So we don't restrict just disabled people to be in a ground floor room because it's easier for the hotel.
Yeah.
So we open those opportunities up on higher floors. We don't have views, but the whole concept is you have a better view and you're higher up and you get to go in the elevator instead of just be restricted to the ground floor of the hotel. And I've had a look through our rooms, and we've made changes to bench tops, probably uplifting our mattress bases so that bed frame lifts can get under the frame under the base, and improve the quality of the bathrooms. I think when hotels are designed, it's very lax on disabled bathrooms and making sure, we'll just chuck a rail in there and we'll not do
because
much
they
with
generally look like a hospital bathroom and people don't sort of connect with it.
100%.
But if you don't know, you don't know, and every disability is different. So somebody's accessibility needs isn't going to match somebody
but
else.
you can make
You just have to be
a
honest.
bathroom look really attractive, even if it's
not a
accessible.
hospital
That's
bathroom,
right.
Well, I mean, we our front stairs aren't accessible. Like, there's nothing we can do about it, but
we are accessible.
we are
Just for the
accessible,
record.
but not the front
But
door.
obviously, yes,
Yeah.
unfortunately not. But I mean, this is a 150 years old hotel.
I know.
And properties are restricted, but the end goal is that every guest can have the same experience.
Yes.
Every guest can have the feeling of walking through that front door lobby and going, I'm in the hotel, not, heritage building's different, but a new build hotel, it needs to have that feeling
Yeah, it
because
really does.
you don't want to pull up the front and the concierge turn around and be like, oh, you've got to go around the other side to come through.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we struggle with. But we do our best. What about your reception desk? Is it tall desk? Do you have a lower desk?
So we've got 2 desks for reception. So we've got the main reception, we've got the cafe style, but now we've created a self-check-in port area where it is lower desk, it's self-service, but also assisted service as well. So, there's definitely what you've got to consider. And again, everyone should have the choice of I want to check in at the proper desk or I want to do it myself.
And do you promote it? Do you advertise it? Do you sort of detail it on your website, on things like that? What accessibility features you've got?
We've got the accessibility options for the rooms. I kind of sit on the fence with it because you want to get to the point where it's normal. So you shouldn't feel that you have to say, we have an accessible front desk.
Yes.
And we have a accessible
I
option. They should be able to walk in and expect that that's what they're going to get.
Completely
And
agree
they
with
should be more so surprised that we don't have it.
Told you, he's ahead of the curve.
He is ahead of the curve.
Our building was built in 2000 where transparently it wasn't much focus on disability accommodation. And
I suppose the problem is that, I think people with disability expect that hotels are not as accessible as they should be, or it because it's all very personalized. It's it depends what accessibility means to a person. I'm looking up Mercure Manly, and I want to know what their accessibility features are. And so the advice that we always get that we from industry is that just show us, just tell us. Make me look, maybe see what it is, and then I'll be the judge.
100%. And then you choose if it's the right place for you. And if it's not, then that's the business's fault. Because if you don't have the option, you're for better words, you're the idiot for not providing better accommodation.
You're missing
and
out
you're losing business.
on a sale. Yeah, of course.
Just like pools, hotel doesn't have a pool. You're missing out on people who are looking for pools.
Yeah.
So it's,
well, fortunately, you've got owners that have got
fantastic
the means and the vision. And
and they implement those changes for not a revenue driving purpose, for an experience purpose. And I think that's the big difference. You don't want an owner that looks at everything and goes, how can we make money out of it? And they will, because it's a business, but it's how can you do something better than what you're doing just for the sake of doing it.
And so what about the rest of the industry? So going back to my original question.
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off.
That's okay. No. So where do you think the industry is at from a young leader's perspective? Do you see changes in inclusion,
Yeah, I think it's heading in the right way. It's not close to being there, but you've got major companies like Accor, Marriott, whatnot, setting targets now and making sure that it's a prominent focus.
As long as it's not a tick box.
Well, that's where the blurred lines get to, and that's with any KPI that you set. When we talk about gender diversity, it's not just restricted to the disability community. It's any time you set a target, there are blurred lines on did they deserve the job or was it a tick box.
But it's useful to push the boundaries
for sure, and it gives people a focus. So our portfolio is fantastic. We have a People with Purpose program where we actively seeking people with disadvantaged upbringings. So whether it's with a disability or whether it's Indigenous background or homelessness, where we can provide opportunities to employ or give a different kind of perspective if we focus on them from an accommodation standpoint. So that's really exciting to see. The new build of hotels, I think that's where we're going to see how forward the hotel industry is. You've got Waldorf Astoria coming into Sydney in a couple of years. You've got, I'm not calling them out, but they should be probably the market leaders for accessible accommodation because
You're not calling them out?
not at all. But they've got every opportunity. They've got the resources, the St Regis or Ritz-Carlton going into the Gold Coast, the Mondrian being built on the Gold Coast. All these properties are coming in now. They're new builds. They don't have, you guys are restricted. It's a heritage building.
Yeah.
You can't do much legally with it. These are an opportunity to build a foundation.
Yeah.
And yes, it's, we're going to be one of the top hotels, Waldorf, in the country. So why not be the top in every category?
Yes,
and lead
yes.
it. So it's
that's obviously about the environment and the build.
Yeah.
Then there's the people.
yeah.
There's a lot more to accessibility than just...
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
So I mean,
physical
that's
nature.
that's almost an
Yeah.
essential, like a condition.
Yeah.
But you can have all the accessibility in the world that you want, but if then the culture and the approach and the processes and
Well, 100%. I've seen it from my side, introducing Sam into the team, just how much of a shift that's
difference it
made.
makes.
And, it's, you have someone on shift, say, for example, on breakfast, one of our old long-term employees, they're just left to do their job. We've got Sam out there. Hey, we checked on Sam. How's it going? Yeah, cool. Breakfast is running. I'm just going to jump out for half an hour. I'm going to help as well. Gets more people involved. And what they should have been doing a year ago, they're naturally doing now because they want to be there. They want to see it happen. They want to support and see him succeed. Like, that's all that we want to do.
There's a massive culture shift.
Massive.
Amazing.
And it's great to see, like, what you guys are doing as well, that it's not just to get these graduates out and employ, but it's also an education piece. And it's educating the employer how to employ better, how to train better, how to talk better. You're like, don't be scared. Just say, how can I help? How can I make your job easier? Like, just be upfront. It's not a scary thing to say, because I say it to my staff who have been working for 10 years, but, with Sam, does he prefer the lights to be a little bit more dimmed because it could be too bright for him in the lobby, or do we turn the music down a little bit more because it's overwhelming? And does he want to sit outside for 5 minutes during his shift just to soak in the fresh air? Like, things that you've just got to ask the question, because I don't know what his preferences are. I met him 6 weeks ago, but you learn, and it's been inquisitive, and because
There's
then
so
you
much
learn
you
as
can
well.
do.
Yeah,
There's so much you can do.
yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah, I think I always say that our industry is really encouraging in terms of the appetite they've got to this.
Yeah, very.
There's, as I said, it moves a little bit slow, but it's
Everything moves slow.
yeah, but it's really inspiring. We're really, really excited about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Other questions, all right? You talked
I
about
had
Alvi.
I had heaps, but now they're gone. Now
Not interesting.
it's this.
Oh, no. Tell us, you did something pretty brave a couple of days ago, again, for charity reasons.
Yeah, jumped out of a plane. So that was,
With a shoot.
oh yeah, luckily.
Are you
I didn't
sure?
have the shoot on. Someone else did. I was quite closely attached to them. It's almost uncomfortable how tight you are against them. So
When I did it, what I found the most uncomfortable is, when you scoot to the
Yeah.
door, because I was right at the back of the plane, but they lift you up and scoot you to the door. It was very tight. in that
yeah,
plane.
it was
Very interesting experience.
incredible though. Like, just, it's one of those like life-changing activities. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Parachute doesn't. Yeah. But I think doing it, and then afterwards, I kind of reevaluated a lot personally. Like, you reflect, I think, internally, and
What, after you nearly die?
yeah, but like you have that thrill and that adrenaline that goes through you, and you kind of, I don't know why, but like I sat there that night and I was like, am I
before?
happy? No, the after, yeah. And I was like, am I happy in what I do? Yeah. Like, do I want to do something else? Do I want to do something bigger? And yeah, it was really cool. But like, the thrill of that first 50 seconds of free fall is like the most incredible feeling in the world. And you fall so quickly, and then you get through the clouds and you see the ground, and that's when I started to shit myself. And the beach, and it's beautiful, and Wollongong, amazing. But
And how long is the time between the opening of the chute and the landing?
I think the opening of the chute and the landing is about 2.5 minutes of just floating down, and then the free falls, just under a minute. So you fall about
3 minutes.
It's worth it. It's the best thing you'll ever do. You'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll book
I
it.
know.
I'm going to make you jump out of that plane.
I think I've committed already.
Yeah. Well, you got to do it. I lost all my hair doing it, so
I'm already
have to worry.
ahead myself.
you don't have to worry. But yeah, no, we did it for the Children's Cancer Institute. So we do something every year for them, which was great. So just raise money and awareness. I think, everyone does charity events to raise money, but I think the important thing is the awareness. So I really try to utilize LinkedIn to share the message more so. Yes, it's great to get donations and funding helps research and whatnot. But yeah, sending the message and getting the conversation going, and that's with everything. So when you guys, featuring on Channel 7 and Channel 9 lately has been incredible because people have been able to hear the message and see it. It's not just reading an article, but, seeing, was it Reggie? In action,
Making
in the hotel and seeing the impact he has on the guests is, people look at it and go, oh, I'll go check that out. And
we had somebody today.
Really?
This morning checked in, was checking out, and they said, oh yeah, we just
saw you on Channel 7.
Channel 7
That's
Sydney
awesome.
Weekender, and we loved it, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, so I'm going to throw a challenge at you. So instead of, every fundraising reasons is obviously needed, but we need the industry to see us as the recipient of possible fundraising opportunities. So next time you jump off a plane for us.
Do it for Etico.
Let's
Would you
do
do it again?
something at industry level.
I'll do it again.
Yeah.
But I think I've got to do something different.
You can do the glass thing with me at Scenic World.
Yeah, I'll pass. But you let me know how that
No,
goes.
but I'm serious about it. For
100%.
example,
No,
the
for sure.
young leaders.
Yeah.
Young leaders, right? What best way for a group of young leaders in the industry to come up with a fundraising activity that supports
The industry.
through Hotel Etico? And I
100%.
think so.
Now he's got to do it
I'll take
because
the
you told
challenge.
him to do
Yeah.
it.
And now I'm on camera. So
Yeah.
that's my
I've said
challenge
yes.
to you. Yeah,
But that's a great idea.
we're a charity.
agree. Yeah.
That's a way to get people to do things for you.
Yes.
Lock them in on camera.
Yes, that's right. Lock them in.
No, that's good. I completely
Yes,
agree. And I think when we first initially connected, it was more around YHL than the employment side of things with the hotel. So
And the pool
it's
you've
exciting.
got on the industry, it's just amazing, and that people can't say no.
No, they can't.
So-
They can.
When it's for a good cause. No.
We just don't take no for an answer.
Not to Scotty the Hottie.
Oh, God.
You are editing that fucking out. Not funny.
Very good. Running as well. You run?
Yeah, we'll do the run club with YHL. So it's another form of activity to get people out and
Andrea's back
get
to
around.
10Ks.
10Ks.
Yeah, I'm
Very
up to
good.
10Ks now. Yes,
Awesome.
I mean that's
From what, 150?
150. Yes, that's So I've got a little bit.
A little bit to go, but no, running. I'm training for a marathon for next year, and I
The
think
Sydney one.
I'm going to do the Gold Coast.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because Sydney's
go
now
back
part of
home.
the major.
Yeah, it's a
marathons around the
major,
world,
which is
so-
great. So that's in September. So I might.
It's
double
still
up
42 kilometers and
Still,
195
yeah.
meters. Huh?
Yeah, correct. So I think running is a great way of it's that and golf for me that is where I disconnect from everything and just kind of
It's
relax. And,
meditating.
I mean, golf can ruin your day, and it's
Why?
4 hours. That's just a very infuriating sport when you don't hit it straight. it's a really simple task. You swing, you hit a ball, should go straight, but it doesn't. So at least running, I can't go off track usually.
You could fall over.
Yeah, well, I haven't
trip.
yet. Not yet.
I run on trail, so
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah,
much
you're
more
a trail,
dangerous. But
I remember my question. Andrea asked Mariella on the last episode, why hire somebody with a disability?
which is probably the next episode actually, rather than the last episode. But
Well,
yes,
that's because you stuffed up the recording. But why not? Like, I say, why not hire somebody with a disability? Why do you think people should?
Well, it shouldn't be a question. Like,
that was the same answer.
it's not. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I
It
think
shouldn't
that's
even be a
Like,
question. Well, I've
Yeah.
got no more questions.
Yeah.
Because
Sam would have been hard if he came through Etico or not. Like, he interviewed really well. He showed a passion. He showed an area for development. Steph Lepesi, our director of HR.
She's very good.
It's fantastic. And Etico's biggest supporter.
She's coming up, actually.
Is she?
Yeah.
Without me. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I told her not to bring you again.
Yeah. Right. She just said, he's hired.
No brainer.
Like, I wasn't unfortunately there for the interview. I was I was in Melbourne.
Unfortunately. Weren't you on holidays?
Yeah. But like, I would love to have interviewed Sam.
Okay.
And I just got the text saying hired. It wasn't oh, consider this, and oh, do you have the support for him? It was just hard and make it happen.
She has great passion.
One thing
Yeah.
that I'm, I always worried about that interviews. I mean, interviews don't work for the majority of employees.
She did a
anyway.
walking
it's
interview.
Always a bit of a gamble anyway.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You can be a great interviewer, but
yeah,
be
I
a
think
horrible
there are-
employee and vice versa.
I think there are skills in learning the interview process. We teach all
Yes,
about
absolutely.
training for the
But
interview process,
there needs
yeah.
to be some innovative way at the recruitment stage to understand whether the person, because for the majority, our trainees, our graduates have autism or other disabilities where communication can be a bit of a problem, where social skills can be a bit of a problem. And
You don't make a great first impression.
Yes, and it's stressful. An interview is stressful.
yeah.
so-
I think it's HR departments at hotels need to change how they market and advertise their jobs and change job descriptions to make sure
Yeah.
that they're more appealing. And someone from Etico with autism or whatever it is can look at it and go, I can see myself in that role. And a lot of the time with the JDs, they can't, so they don't even try.
I've
And they
been
just-
I've been fantasizing about flipping it on its head and having the HR person come and visit here,
Yeah.
see them in action. Don't even have to say anything. See them in action.
Well,
Yeah, we call it a career expo day. Come up every quarter. HR
honestly,
managers welcome
is that
them.
just an excuse to come up?
But you see them in their element, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Which is familiar, so
Yeah.
they're a little
They're
bit more comfortable.
Yeah,
We do
and
the
they their thing.
videos. We do video resumes.
Yeah, but
They're-
you know,
I know.
there's nothing like the real thing.
But the interviews have changed over time, where
They
it's
have.
less question answer and it's just having a conversation and getting
Yes.
to know them, and especially more so at leading level roles like frontline roles. I don't ask, give me an example when, or give me
Yeah, Andrea,
your
you
3
should
strengths, 3
Take that
weaknesses.
under advisement.
It's just, where'd you grow up? What are your interests? What do you love? What's your favorite restaurant? Because that's the conversation they're going to have with the guests.
Yes.
And that's,
What is your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant?
Yeah.
Bistecca. It's a alleyway down in Wynyard. You walk in there, it's a bar out the front. As you walk into the restaurant, you get your phone taken off you. They put it in a
Ooh,
lockbox.
I would really
You know
like
what bistecca means in Italian?
that. No.
Steak.
I would
That's
like
the
it
only,
even more.
What's the only main on the menu? Steak. So you got 1,000 sides, but they have one cut of steak, and you just say how much.
Dude.
And the
No
coolest thing
phone
about
and
it,
steak?
yeah. But the coolest thing about it, the candle on the table is actually butter. So as it burns, you dip your bread in it, and it's incredible. Yeah, I was blown away.
Amazing.
So that's my favorite restaurant.
Amazing.
You check it
Very
out.
good.
I will be going.
And what's your favorite drink?
It tosses up between a Negroni and an old fashioned.
Okay.
Depends what I'm feeling and how manly I'm trying to feel.
Yeah.
On a first date, I'll get an old fashioned. No, it's I'm not I don't drink beer. I actually found out a month ago I'm kind of allergic to hops, so doesn't sit well in the stomach. So yeah, I love a bit of a cocktail, gin and tonic.
I can't drink gin. Can't do the gin and tonic. I've tried.
What about-
Andrea made me try.
What about tequila? I know Soph, you guys' colleague, just absolutely had a field day last night on tequila.
She really did, actually.
Yeah.
That was.
She holds it very well.
I can't do
Dude,
tequila and I can't do black sambuca ever. That's not being edited out. So I love you, but it's not coming out.
And so 5 years down the track, where's Scotty?
Andrea is very good at tequila, apparently.
Yes, used to be.
It's
Where's
Scott.
Where's Scott in 5 years' time?
Where's Scott?
What's your ambition?
5 years, the ambition is to be a general manager in an overseas property, whether that's a 4 or 5 star hotel.
In Vegas?
Probably not Vegas, maybe Southeast Asia. If I'm being realistic with myself, yeah, it'd be probably like a Mercure, Pullman, Novotel kind of range, 200, 300 rooms, conferencing, F&B. Either that or 2IC in a luxury hotel, either one. I think my next step is probably a category of hotel up, like a Novotel kind of brand, a bit more F&B offering, larger rooms, get that experience and then head over. My career has fast-tracked so quickly. It's been an exponential kind of
28.
climb.
The
So
best industry for that.
Exactly,
I said
yeah.
it before that I sort of discovered it so late that for me now it's sort of too late. But it's,
Too late.
Well,
You're not
in
dying,
terms of
you're in your
career,
50s.
like I know, but you can go anywhere. You
Yeah.
can travel anywhere.
Yeah.
You can aspire already, you know, at your age. You can, I want to do this, I want to do that. And it's very doable.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is.
like,
And
if
I
you
think
work hard and, you know,
Yeah.
you're capable. But
I think, people need to stop looking at hospitality as jobs, their careers. They really are.
yeah.
it's incredible.
you can
industry
climb so quickly, but I think it's important.
To take
To
your
stop.
time.
to pace yourself.
Yeah. So I think these next few steps will be a stop, enjoy it, learn, develop other people. I get a massive kick out of seeing people that I've been a leader of become the same. You know, I just had a assistant manager become an FOM. Like I just get such a kick out
FOM
of
for our listeners
Front
that
office
are
manager.
There
not.
are
front
so
office
many
manager.
acronyms.
I'm so sorry.
Well,
it's fair enough.
we work across so many industries.
Yeah.
That, you know, if we
Yeah,
start
I
with
know.
disability acronyms,
Yeah.
people won't know what we're
I
talking
know
about.
sometimes I
Yeah.
have to check myself with that.
Yeah.
So-
But you learn it at the Paralympics. You see all the acronyms. You get better. But
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Great. Very good. Well, good luck with that.
Thank
I
you.
know that you'll get there. And yes, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
that's it. Yeah.
very,
no?
very good.
Marathon runner.
Yes.
Marathon runner. Yeah.
Never been a fast runner.
Wait, it's ultra marathon runner.
Yeah. He's too young for ultra marathon. It's you
Ooh,
need
challenge?
patience.
No, it's it's an art. Gotta learn it.
You're not good at art?
It's a realization you can't run fast, and so you run
Yeah.
slow along.
Yeah.
We're out of time.
I think we've covered what we wanted to cover. Is there anything else that you would like to
What
add,
did we
Scott?
talk about last time that we missed?
No, I just want to acknowledge the work that you guys do. I think Etico has made a huge stamp in the industry in Sydney, Australia especially.
We're such
but
a little player.
so small, but and there's so much more that's going to happen over these for you guys over the next couple of years. What
have
you're
big
going to
plans.
impact on this industry is exciting, and it's not just on an operational revenue.
That is a
side.
compliment.
It's changing a culture of what we do and why we do it. So
We had this conversation the other day. Effectively, we're only 3 years old. And we've
Yeah,
done
4.
Yeah, 4.
4?
3 for me. 3
Yeah,
next
3
week for me.
Yeah.
So.
you guys opened here on my birthday.
Did we?
5th of June 2021.
That was the official opening.
Official
yes.
opening,
I mean, we opened on the 4th of November, just a few days ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That
But
was
then
just
the
a guess.
official opening was on the 5th of June, and then they locked us down.
Yeah. Lovely COVID.
So, but
Very cool.
That's very
we're
kind.
very
Thank you.
excited by what's ahead. It's a lot of bloody work, but it's very, very exciting.
It's worth it.
Yes.
It is worth it.
We'll be everywhere around the country.
Good.
And wherever you're going to be, maybe not in Southeast Asia ourselves, maybe
Why
our
not?
colleagues from overseas.
We're in Italy, wherever else. You can
we
start
will
an Etico in
definitely,
Southeast Asia.
we
I'll
will
do an
definitely
Etico over
follow.
there.
We need champions like you in the industry, so
You always got my support.
we know that we've got an ally now. So, well, with that, thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, and thank you, Saraya.
You're welcome.
Thanks everyone who's been listening and watching.
What are
And-
we up to now? You've been monitoring the downloads.
The latest update is that just after a few days after we launched, 3 or 4 days
2
ago,
days.
we got 70 downloads,
pretty
lots of
good.
followers, and so start small, but I think it's really exciting. We keep refreshing to see how many we've got. It's like, yeah, we've got
There's a
another
tally
one.
in our group chat.
Yes.
Actually, yeah.
So thank you very much for the support. Keep spreading the message, and let's make room for all.
And keep fighting for inclusion.